Hello, today I'm going to be doing a review of a new toy I got myself. This is the traditional filipinoweapons.com. It's called the Pinute. It's a Visayan tool and sword. So let's get into it. First thing, let me put this back in real quick. First thing, let's go over the scabbard real quick. I don't care much about the scabbard, but I want to show you guys. So it's made of wood. I don't know if it's hardwood or not. It's bound by some form of plant fiber material, which looks like it's been dried. And I mean, it's a nice scabbard, no complaints. It comes with a little belt loop hook and also a little latch that kind of prevents this from sliding out. I mean, it's easy to get it out, but it's a little bit of a break, so that's good. Alright, scabbard's done. Don't care about that. Let's get on to the blade. So, a little bit of info about the blade. This is a 21-inch blade. The entire sword itself is 27.5 inches. The blade, according to their website, is a blend of 5160 and D2 tool steel. I believe it's called tool steel. Not sure what that really means because I've never had a blade that had that particular mixture before. It hasn't rusted and it's been a nice chopper and it's held a good edge for about 3 weeks since I got it. So whatever they're doing it right. If I were to classify this blade as one thing, I would say this blade is a chopper. It really feels good in the hand for chopping. Thrusting, yeah. Slashing, yeah. But really the chop, it feels like it could really do a lot of damage, and it does. I've chopped bamboo with it and just, I mean, it's got some weight to it. It's not a bad weight. I'm not sure how much it weighs because they don't list it and I don't have a scale. But it has some weight in a good way. You know, it feels functional, which is what you want. So that having been said, let's get into it. Let's start. We'll start from the bottom and kind of work our way up. So we have the hilt here. The hilt has the. We'll start here. Has a nice little brass kind of button on the bottom to lock in the tang, I'm assuming, and to hold the pommel and the grip on. The pommel and the grip on this sword are actually one piece. It's all one solid piece. It doesn't look like it was cut and then fused together, which is good. It looks like a dark hardwood. It's stained nicely. The grip has some serrations cut into it to increase the grip. But since it's a hardwood, you know, the grip's only so good because it's a hardwood. So it gets a little slick if you're handling it a lot and quickly, because when I do that, I tend to get my hands a little sweaty. And so I like to handle it with my gloves on because I get really good grip, and also I don't have to clean the blade when I'm done playing with it. So, yep. Moving on up, we have the guard here. The guard, I think it's out of steel, it looks like, and it's kind of like a modified disc guard with a little bit of a quill-on right here on the front to protect your hands. Really all this guard's going to do is it's going to keep your hand from sliding up, and it's also going to protect your fingers in the event that someone makes contact and slides their blade down yours to try to cut your fingers off. Other than that, it's mostly, I mean, those are its functions. It's not going to give you much protection, but it's solid. There's no laxity in this blade at all. There's no play or anything, which is really good as far as the quality is concerned. I got this blade as a second sale because it had 2 rust spots on it. There's the one. You can see that. And then if we flip it over, there's the other one. So I literally got this blade for like 45, 50, 40% off because of these 2 spots. So thank you. I want some more to get some rust so I can buy them at a deal price. Alright, moving on to the blade. Here at the fort we have a nice, I'll show you the whole thing, we have a nice distal taper here. It starts wide, and then as we move up through the midsection along the spine, and then all the way to the end here, we have a nice distal taper. The only thing that changes is right here at the foible at the end, there's a swedge where it gets a little wider, and I believe that's to improve stabbing strength, so you're not likely to break your end off. There, along the spine right here in the midsection, there's a little bit of a taper inwards, which I believe they just cut out to reduce the amount of metal on the blade and to keep it balanced. So you can see that best on this back cross section. Okay, on the front here, right at the base in the fort, they have a what's called a Ricasso, which is this little section here, and it's unsharpened. So if you like to live dangerously, if you want to put your, instead of, you know, staying under the guard, if you want to put your finger up here and maybe give yourself a little bit more finesse with your movements, you can do that. I'm not a fan of that because obviously if you slip up, even, I mean, look at my finger. It's here and it's a millimeter and it's sharp, so if you slip, you're screwed. So I'm keeping my hands below the guard, but to each their own. Moving on up, it's a nice kind of leaf-shaped blade. The primary bevel is very, very tiny and very sharp. So tiny, in fact, that I have to reflect it in the light to be able to see it. If I were to classify this as a grind, I don't really know grinds, but just looking at it, I'd say this looks like a, I believe it's called a V or a saber grind. I tried to look online to see what it was actually called, and I couldn't really find one that looked exactly like this, because I'm not an expert, but I think it would be a saber grind. Moving up here, yeah, we already touched on the swedge. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's a nice blade. I have no complaints about it, and I will definitely be ordering from them again. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, one more thing. The balance point. A lot of people are like, oh, where's the balance point at? Balance point would be, it's about 3 inches or so. Well, a little farther maybe, 3.5 inches, which is pretty much what the website says and why it's a good chopping weapon. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and try them out. It's a really nice blade. Thanks.